right up in the top 3 positions. They went up against top esports, an opportunity for them to go toe-to-toe with them and really solidify themselves as that number 3 seed coming out here from the LPL, but weren't able to kind of solidify it. Had a great game 1, game 2, and game 3 just did not go their way, and now I want to see them coming out strong against TT. I want to see them kind of, I mean, straight and honest, just punch down, really put in a performance here and get yourself right back up into that mix.
Yeah, and as OMG, focus point has to be towards the mid lane. I feel like Thunder Talk, it's been a Ucal show for the most part, and I feel like just getting a glimpse at the drafts here. Pretty strong front-to-back composition, right? You've got Braum, 2 AD carries, 2 frontliners as well on top of that with CC and a lot of backline disruption. Looking forward to seeing how they pilot this one out, as OMG need this win to ensure they remain competitive for a top 4 spot, put them in that 3rd round bye for them, and hope that LNG above them look to slip up as well. They themselves, LNG, actually have TT in their run of schedule, so let's see how OMG get going as Jio's incredibly loud.
Told you, man. We went from Xi'an to Shanghai, and the energy is just as electric. As we can kind of look into it here. Of course, we can see the kind of matchups coming in here now. 1XM being able to pick up that Kai'Sa there for himself is going to cover the little bit of, or the lack of magic damage that TT had kind of drafted in for so far in their composition. But on the other side, Creme got his hands onto the Tristana, so they decided to try and flex that one a little bit. It was exclusively able for the longest time here for OMG, just kind of piloting that champion. But I quite like this as well, because you got the Maokai, you got the Renekton. Your turret taking potential is obnoxious, to say the least, here from OMG.
Yeah, I'm gonna be surprised if we see really big Herald Prio as... Okay. So, Shanji is gonna harass. Aki's gonna pick up... Oh, the Raptors reset. That's all good. Well, I guess...
No,
yeah.
they're going in. No Bramble Smash available, though, for Aki as he used it to try and clear off that camp. 2 seconds, but not going to try and turn it onto it just yet. Shanji still being a nuisance. Does he have enough to kind of slow him down? I don't think he does. No flash available here for Aki. Nope. As they just get Hoya back into the base, but it means that Beichuan has to go for an early reset. He's going to be on the bot side of the map, and we're going to have some strange jungle path, because here we go. Flash in, cleanse and flash by Abel, not respecting the crash down that was able to come out from Yao Yao. In this game, we're only 2 minutes in, and we've already seen plenty of summoners burned.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of summoners being burned here. Flash cleanse not available for Abel, and that will mean that Beichuan can get down here quite easily. Yao Yao has the Hex Flash, so setup is always going to be relatively simple, and Ppgod can't really stop the engage, right? He can throw up the shield and maybe stop 1XN from getting a bunch of damage in, but the CC is still going to be there, and the shield doesn't last forever, so let's see how that impacts the bottom side of the map. But like we mentioned, Beichuan getting kind of set a little bit behind on tempo in terms of just his general jungle clear, as you kind of see what I mean, right? Yao Yao oversteps his bounds here, but generally, if he's got the crash down ready and wants to pull the trigger, his ability to actually get on top of Abel can be quite strong if Abel's not respecting the distance that can be covered.
We'll wait and see how this all kind of unfolds right now. Of course, as the Tristana, you want to try and push in the side lanes or your mid lane as much as you can, get those plates down. That's why we've been seeing the Jace kind of very effectively being picked into it. It does have just a very good time of wave clearing and dealing with everything that the Tristana does in the early game. And we will see no immediate information given over by the side of OMG as Beichuan moves himself into this bottom side jungle, picks himself up a scuttle. And it shouldn't be too hard for him to get back up towards that top side and take the second one.
If he wants it, though. I feel like he wants to stay around on the bottom side, cover for 1XN and Yao Yao, just in case Aki comes down here and wants to blow the summoner spells. And you can see that's the read he's got. He's anticipating that Aki is clearing from top to bot right now because of how that invade played out earlier on. Just wants to ensure that Beichuan.
Oh, yeah, Ppgod. He's going to have to flash and heal, but I feel like that was a little bit of panic from the side of OMG's bot side. Not an ideal situation to be on, and TT get themselves first blood.
Yeah, as well as Ppgod's summoner spells as well, so it's the end of the world now for the trade all in all. TT. First blood, I didn't see who it went into. It went into 1XN, so
yep.
And a worst case scenario for OMG. And this wave is not the best either. But Abel, he's got the Infernum plus the Gravitum, so he's got a fair amount of wave clear. just has to be a little bit concerned about actually just being ganked by Yao Yao, like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a lot of vision. As you can see, toggled here. Yao Yao, what way is he coming? Is he coming through the tri-bush to lane, or is he coming through jungle? No, he's coming through the lane. So, won't be a big deal. Abel will be able to reset if he so wants to. And then 1xN after that wave, likely look for a reset of his own. And we'll try and spend all of that gold as Creme jumps in. Trades even. It's not too bad.
We'll wait, see if anything kind of crazy happens with it. We are going to hopefully be able to see a little bit more from the side of TT to kind of utilize this advantage and kind of put pressure onto OMG. Remember, OMG are far ahead, but for TT, they're not out of playoffs just yet. Just 2 series wins away from getting themselves right up into that mix with Ninjas in Pajamas. So they will be looking to try and make this a big, big upset win if they can able to get it. And it starts with that first game. That's the beauty of the LPL. We do have best of 3s, but it just means you have to be that little bit more consistent. And for OMG, don't want to be dropping down this one. Even honestly, a 2-1 is a little bit much for them because their game difference score is only a +3, so they need as many as they can possibly get. Yao gonna get this crash down in. The cleanse is there, but Abel knows he's dead, and that is just an easy replay gank here from TT.
Yeah, it's just so hard to take control of these rushes in a setup like this. You need Aki to be living with you, pretty much. Just not able to, and Abel's dead again. I say again, first death, but bottom lane dead again. TT will be able to pick up the dragon as well, so a really, really good early start here for TT. Really staving off that pressure from the level 1 invade that OMG tried to kind of use to shake things up a little bit. And we didn't really outline the compositions, I will say that, in terms of holistic view, right? We did for OMG. I guess we'll do it after this replay. What are we looking at here for Abel? I mean, he has cleanse, but even if he uses cleanse at this point, I promise he's gonna die. So, just one of those scenarios where the positioning is the bigger issue here. Here's Shanji. Pops the Dominus.
Yeah,
with...
not gonna get much else from it, to be honest. I think it's difficult enough to get onto Hoya on the tower.
He had all of his summon, well, all of his summon spells, all of his cooldowns not available.
Yeah,
it's just one little bit of extra damage. You know?
Wanted everything on cooldown.
Yeah, they, you know, hey, they buffed Dominus damage a while ago at some point. I don't remember when it was.
Yeah, they increased its magic tick.
Yeah, it's really strong. Smile. Anyway, Jamada's gonna butt heads. This is not gonna be level 6 for Beichuan, so both these guys here looking in. It will be first move from Shanji, but no ultimate. Beichuan is just gonna yield the red, pick up his Krugs. So, handshake is had. No big deal. Everyone's happy with the exchange. Almost. Guess TT are pretty mad about losing their red buff.
I'm mad about losing a red buff, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, I don't want to lose my red buff, but I guess that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but now, yeah, I will say that Beichuan has level 6. His ability to actually make plays on the map is even greater, right? The chain CC between him and Hoya, for example, can be enough to kill off Shanji. Just because he's kind of a walking health bar. You might even see it in action here if they're able to find an angle. Shanji, if he ease in, expect Beichuan just immediately dash out of the bush. But just be a wave clear. Into nothing else. Hoya, not really oversell it. And at this point now Beichuan's been spotted, so what are they looking for? Herald. They kind of know what's going on. Ppgod's here and Abel's here. OneXN Yao out there on the way through the mid lane machine. Collapse might be late from TT, but they want it. Beichuan's in the pit now, committed.
They do want it. We're going to see them now looking for this one. Flash by Beichuan to get him sorry away, but Steadfast Presence and the Keeper's Verdict not going to do a lot. There's no flash to be had, or sorry, no smite to be had. Finally gets picked up there, and that's going to be Ppgod trading his life as it took them way too long to secure that Rift Herald. Now, yeah, not going to be able to crash out of this one, and 2 kills go over alongside that Rift Herald to OMG. So took a little bit scrappy, but they do come out with a much more positive trade.
Alright, I'm really glad that OMG won that skirmish, because otherwise I was starting to wonder whether or not, as I've been recently educated and reminded that it was going to be another classic OMG game 1. You do pick up the Herald, and that's going to be gold. And remember, with this Tristana in the mid lane, it's very easy to break a tower. Brick that very, very easily. And even if you get Abel on a side lane, right, with the green and red, or green and white rather, or the red and white like this, Very, very plausible that you take a whole bunch of plates. So let's see exactly what OMG are able to achieve in the next few minutes. As Creme, a trade from Ucal here. Oh, interrupts the rocket jump.
Does have a flash, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna flash back over him, though. Shock blast! Couple more seconds. I don't think Creme's got the cooldowns to survive this. And, yeah, that's just Ucal bringing that energy. You can see it too on the screen, just constantly pushing TT. He believes in the miracle run, and like you said earlier, 7 wins might just be enough. And now Beichuan finding Shanji in the bot side. 1xN immediately shotguns himself, a flash in. The passive is procced. 1xN gets himself a kill, and TT exploding across the rift.
Yep, absolutely. Find the kill on the bottom side. Ucal solo kills Creme. And like you said, Ucal's been bringing the energy. You've seen the passion on his face. Every time for the last series or so, they've won. As yeah, a bit awkward throughout. Keeper's verdict, missed that in live. Goes wide, and that's where the disengage comes through. Smite wasn't actually there for Aki in the end. They do secure it with the Bramble Smash, and like you kind of said, the fact that TT in the call were so slow, it felt like, to the punch generally, just meant that OMG had far more decisions to make that were a lot easier to execute on, as Creme used the explosive charge on the wave. Thundering Blow, they need to look into this ability, man. I feel like it's worked like this for way too long. It's worked like that for way too long. You should be able to, like, if you dash out of range of it, it should just stop the channel or something. But either way, Ucal's happy it's still in the game, and Creme, fortunately, is on the receiving end of a solo kill.
Well, unfortunate. It happens, though, as we kind of come back in and see where everyone is kind of finding themselves on the map with 1,200 gold lead. 2 kills, though, for the Ucal mid laner means he does have a Dustblade Drakar, and no flash means that he is almost certainly dead. And that's a nice little response kill here for Creme. Make sure OMG do not let this Jace just accelerate into a monster mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Ashin, am I losing it? Okay, so
yes.
OMG obviously... yes, all right. The obvious answer is yes, but when did OMG drop the Herald in the replay top? Presumably for Abel, whilst he was still up there? Or am I losing?
I don't actually know. Yeah, good question.
It had to have been in the replay, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna assume yes, because I was gonna say, hey, look, they should still have Herald after this play, and they can now use it in the mid lane to break the tower. But they didn't have Herald, so I'm just going to assume it got used in the top side.
Yeah, 2 plates left on that top lane. It feels like the most likely scenario. TT picking up that dragon as well, because they were able to get the rotations out. And we come back in, and OMG find themselves in the gold lead again. This is the kind of the decisiveness we talked about OMG, but for TT, just need to calm it all down. You have a 3-0-1 Kai'Sa right now. You have a 2-1 Jace in this mid game. You have a Hoya who's doing exceptional at just dealing with Shanji on this Renekton, so there is definitely plenty of ways for TT to come back into this game and to try and stop the momentum that OMG have just built into them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I went and double-checked. It was during the solo kill, and we did actually get a pan up at it, but it was as the Herald was basically dying, so, you know, it's all good. We're not going crazy. It does happen. Second dragon, like you mentioned, though, was picked up by TT, so they have that going for them. And the team fighting is always going to be quite strong. A lot of disengage, re-engage, I feel like is a really, really strong combo TT are working with here. Right? Let OMG maybe overreach, right? As they so often love to. Great buffer on the rocket jump. And yeah, for TT. Look to re-engage with the Sejuani, the Rel. And just lock down the targets that are in front of you. And if they can be Creme and Abel, perfect. And that's how you're kind of looking at these team fights. Herald's up in 1 minute's time, and I anticipate that's where TT are going to look next. A couple of resets here from Yao, probably just to refresh the wards and then go up there and secure the vision that they need to ensure that OMG walk into this as blind as they can possibly keep them.
That's the big thing, is that keeping the vision troll up, making sure you're getting as much advantage as you possibly can. I will say that Tristana will start to get exceptionally busy with taking those towers if you leave her for too long. So we can see now Creme just trying his best to just kind of harass Ucal here. And it is working. It's getting Ucal down to about half his HP with each trade. But with the Static Shiv and the makings of a Nash's Tooth already for 1xN, and no one honestly answering him right now. So he's going to get another free uncontested wave, and he'll be able to clear that so quickly with 15 seconds till the Rift Herald spawns. This is still a great trade for TT. They've lost nothing and gained everything.
Yep, exactly. Still going to be able to contest. Ucal can just teleport back onto the map, so he'll be about 10 seconds late to the play, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be here. As long as TT can just keep OMG dancing around this. They're trying to burst it down. Here's the teleport from Ucal. 1xn can also join from the ultimate, so even if this Herald goes down, they can look for the fight after the fact.
Well, they'll pick
There
it up.
goes Braum.
Yep, bye-bye Brom. As he does end up kind of moving backwards, and OMG still kind of picking up the objective right now. TP still available for Shanji. He hasn't blown it just yet. We'll lose this mid lane tier 1, though. That's pretty significant, to be perfectly honest here for TT, because one of the big things they lack is kind of a, you know, long-range sieging power, and with the things like Jace and the Kai'Sa, they have to get very, very close. So they actually get a tower and trade of it, so not a terrible situation here for TT overall.
Not the worst. So, lose the Herald, tier 1. I mean, good trade. OMG, with the Herald that they have now, they probably want to try and use it to try and secure this third dragon, right? Don't get put on that soul point pressure. Creme is toying with the idea of taking this tower. Once he sees his Hoya, he's probably going to walk up. I don't think he's going to be too scared of Hoya. Or maybe he's just going to watch Hoya clear the way with some fire cape. Oh, very cheeky. Proc the explosive charge on Hoya whilst he's next to the tower. Get that chunk down and then auto it once. Real nice. So, OMG, get a little bit of tower damage and a little bit of extra gold up there. Dragon's now 60 seconds away. I expect that Creme, I was going to say will reset, pick up some items, and then come back down here. But he's just going to stay up there. He's got teleport after all, so he can always answer. So does Hoya. So Hoya's job, it seems he just came out of base not too long ago, is actually going to be to try and keep Creme up here if possible. And then look to cancel the teleport if he tries to channel it. But I think he's just going to let him go. OMG, Oisin, again, want to stop this dragon, otherwise TT will be on 3.
Yeah. That's how maths works. 2 + 1 = 3. And you can see plenty of gold available for the likes of the Jace to spend before this potential fight, but Creme does get a reset in. Now seeing that this is a key moment here for OMG. If you lose this fight and this dragon, all of a sudden the game starts to feel like it will run away from you. Ppgod just being a nuisance to try and push this one in. A TP coming in from Hoya, as he will match the TP from Creme. We wait to see how this one goes. Shirley will get her charge off, and that's going to be mid lane tier 1 bursted open by the side of OMG. Gets them 1,000 gold lead, but they can't spend it right now. So you can see that the Kai'Sa, not with blue buff, but still will be doing significant amount of damage. Rush those Sork shoes, which I love seeing on the Kai'Sa, especially if you're going for this more poke-orientated setup with alongside Jace.
Yeah, exactly. If you anticipate you're not really going to be, you know, DPSing until you really need to dive in and assassinate someone, Salt Boot's definitely a solid choice pickup. And as the soul AP, there shouldn't be too much magic resist to deal with. Anyway, TT.
Ooh, Sejuani.
Here.
Beichuan.
Also Yao as well.
Yep, they got on the Able. Can they get the damage down? Yes, they can, because 1xn shotguns himself right in the backside. It's a double kill for Beichuan. Shanji trying to take out the Kai'Sa, but he just can't do it, and TT will get 3 kills. And the Dragon Soul point here for TT, and they're not out of playoffs yet.
Not just yet, not mathematically. OMG just could not watch the flanks for long enough. Yao wraps around, all the way around to bottom side Tribush. Able to find that one on Beichuan on the opposite end as well. Immediately on top of Abel before he can really do much. Get a look at it again from their perspective. So they see TT, Beichuan, but they just lose track of Yao, unsure about where he is. And once Beichuan comes over the wall, great ultimate from Beichuan to lock him in place originally. Even if he cleanses it, right, it just sets up really freely for Yao to come in here. Get that sorted out, and yeah, OMG, it's looking like, if you're a long-term fan, another classic game #1 in a series.
Yep.
They're only down about 700 gold, so it's not the worst in terms of the flat gold, but the game state just doesn't feel good, does it? It's the dragons, it's the pressure of once this Baron's on the map and being forced out and away from those objective areas where you're going to start to struggle, you're going to start to panic a bit once you recognize there's not really enough vision around these areas to give you the information you need to push up a wave in the mid lane or a side lane, or just know that TT aren't doing a Baron straight up.
And I think the thing is, like, yes, they're only ahead by 1,000 gold, but it's where that gold sits. It's a 3-0-3 Kaisa. It's a 3-1 Jace. It is a Poppy that's kind of falling behind, but, I mean, and maybe the Rel, but you don't really care about that. That's the thing. So for me, it does feel like TT have done an exceptional job of just making sure their carries have the gold that they need in order to carry the game, to get up to 2 items, to get up to a point where the Jace accelerated shock blasts and the Void Seekers from 1xN will be, you know, just so obnoxious to deal with that the Renekton, but that's the whole thing. The Renekton doesn't want to be, you know, waiting for a fight. He wants to get in as soon as possible.
Yeah, that looks fine.
Oh! 1xN! This man's making a name for himself this split, coming in as a rookie, and we've seen him do this kind of play multiple times this split.
Oh my goodness me. And to think, obviously with TT having a very struggling season, 1xN was one of the underperformers as well. Was really struggling. I felt like the Ucal show for a while, but since the upswing of TT, 1xN has been underneath or standing next to Ucal many times now. OMG have to contest this Baron without Abel.
Without Abel, 6,000 gold there, and they kill off Poppy. Hoya not going to be able to do much else though. Yao now caught between a rock and a hard place. A flash forward and a kill confirmed, and this is what I was talking about. OMG. They want to try and continue on this one. Shanji's taking a huge amount of damage though. You can't really go for this one here. Bramble Smash knock back Beichuan, but you've lost both your junglers. Ends up being at overall a 3-for-3, but Abel's now coming back into this one. He was the first one to die at the start of this play. These W's are really starting to hurt. The Baron gets reset. OMG are looking for it, but Shanji has to get himself out of the pit. He's going to have to try and TP back in on top of this one here. Abel looking to see if he can take it out. They're all getting baited by the Baron. Finally, flash for flash comes in. The chakrams are coming out, but the hammer and the shotgun. No, Abel denies him this time. Will be the Abel show for a brief few moments, but Hoya, there's no way you go back for this Baron. All right, he's clearing wards. That's fine.
Everyone's dead. No one can pick up the Baron anymore. Oh my god, this last 90 seconds was so damn hectic. All because 1xN found, well, he did this. Look at this. First W, still marked with the ultimate. And he just waits for a brief moment. The cooldowns come out from Abel. I think that's what actually signals the go button here. Goes in, finds W, couple of autos, full isolated Q. He has no answer. Poor Abel. And then fast forward. Abel just caught out. Alright. I say Abel rather. Well, he was caught out. It's Hoya that's caught out this time. CC'd up. Yao was waiting for the flank. I think TT, the call was to turn. I want to believe with Yao where he was. And they just weren't able to make it happen. Beichuan then gets CC'd up, but Arky going in, not the tankiest member at the moment, gets one shot by 1xN and Ucal. Then OMG say, yeah, it's our turn to do the Baron, guys. You know, look, Abel's got good guns. Shanji falls a little bit too low. Then a teleport comes out as well. A little bit too much damage. Abel stacking up all these chakrams. It's just a ridiculous concoction of mayhem. And then 1xN able to finish off one, but not the other. And then Hoya comes in, isn't able to save Ucal, but kills Abel. It's...
Well, we go live as TT find themselves another fight. That's a great Magnet Storm. Look at 1xN, look at Ucal. They're untouched, they're unfazed, and they are unbothered by OMG. Another shotgun into the back lines as OMG find themselves at the back end of a terrible fight. These aren't the longest of death timers. That's going to be Soul, that's going to be Baron, that's going to be everything for TT.
Yeah, they just have to make their mind up. They're sending Ucal down to the bottom side. He'll get the dragon alongside Yao. Aki's actually there behind the pit, so they might have to postpone this. Get the Baron, go down towards the dragon instead. Or they can just kill him.
They can just kill him. It's an AP Aki Maokai. One more accelerated shock blast. We'll see if he's a sniper. He was, but Aki had a flash to boot. So that's the Baron confirmed. Resets to come in. We might have another fight around this dragon, but I don't think that OMG have got any hope or prayer of trying to contest this.
Absolutely not. This will be Infernal Soul for Dragon Snowball from TT. It's OMG that initiated this fight. Wasn't too sure because we just come out, of course, of the replay. And then frontline does its job. Yao sees the angle. 4-man gravity well crash down. Absolutely over. Abel as well stuck in a bit of an awkward combo of guns just for a brief moment. Long enough that he's just not able to deal DPS. No Moonlight Vigil from the previous fight as well, so he couldn't even find a massive Infernum one, maybe, to turn it back around. And with OMG in an awkward position and Abel without the correct guns, Creme not in a position either to open up. TT slaughter them and get everything they need to close out this game 1.
I mean, what else is there to really say here for TT? What an incredible turnaround we've seen from this roster. It's like, went from playoffs in spring, start of the split, we were very much writing them off, saying, look, you know, you're losing to everybody. They literally were losing to everybody. I don't think they got their first win until week 4, where they 2-1 WE, but then they picked up a win against EDG, now IG as well. They're on a bit of a tear for the moment, all things considered. They could beat OMG. They still keep their hopes alive. I will say, however, week 7, they go up against LNG and JDG, and this series is far from over yet. This is only game 1 of the best of 3, but I mean, what a way to try and bring yourself back into this series. And again, like you said, it used to be the Ucal show, but 1XN has really come into his own. And now they're going to try and look for an end game fight. Not quite able to get the last of the damage down here onto Abel, but just getting those summoners out is good enough.
I have to wager, in my shallow in comparison to some of the historians I sit amongst on the caster lineup, that if TT were to make it into playoffs from this position with the run of form they have, it'd probably be one of the greatest comeback stories in LPL history.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, we'll see if they want to go for it right now. Here we go. One last ditch effort here from OMG, but you've already been separated. What was a 5v5 is now a 3v5. And TT take full advantage of that. The Poppy having so much value, just constantly harassing the rest of the team, just making sure they're always at a numbers disadvantage. Hoya, though, without that, needs to be a bit more careful, as he does end up using the steadfast presence to walk himself away. And flash forward on the 1XN, who does go down. They're going to see yuyanjia fall as well. OMG not out of this game just yet. Beichuan was off into the mid lane trying to get that turret. TT kind of pushed themselves a little bit too far forward and get punished because OMG were ready.
And in the cookie jar from TT, and OMG slammed the lid shut on their fingers. Nice play. Considering they'd already lost Shanji, you're starting to wonder whether or not that was going to turn into an inhibitor very quickly. But OMG find the re-engage, and crucially, they get 1XN before he can really press any of his buttons. As we'll get a look at the play, and I'm not sure about you, but my feed froze at a very awkward frame before this. But yeah, able to just find... Oh, it's just that winner's bite. And then at that point, Creme... his first thought was a little bit awkward. The rest all connects, buster shot as well. Dies. Also got hit by that Moonlight Vigil too, so everything connected from the side of OMG, and TT sent backing as they tried to re-engage. Not the best angle in the world.
TT still only about 3,000 gold ahead. In terms of the actual raw gold that they have available to them, not exceptionally exceptional, but the big thing is that a lot of it is on 1XN. Already building up towards Azania's hourglass, got himself 3.5 items, and got the stopwatch as well for the next potential fight. Still waiting a long time for Abel to come back into this one here. 3-5, definitely a lot of more depth than you would like on your AD carry, but nothing too exceptional, to say the least. If he can get up to that 3rd item, if he can get up to a, you know, some kind of defensive item, either the Mob Mortius or the Bloodthirster, which I imagine is either ones he's going with, I feel like that is going to be a big turning point here for the side of OMG. So TT, they want to try and make sure that does not happen.
Wow.
I'm going to push in and try and get this tower, get all of the outers now down.
Yeah, all the outers down, all the inners down. TT now 2 minutes away from both the Omega buffs being on the map. So, gonna have to make a choice soon. They've not been able to crack open the base with these Baron Sieges. Like you mentioned, for Abel, Bloodthirster was on the way. He only had a Vamp Scepter and recalled and picked up the remainder of the Bloodthirster. And remember, that's a 3.4k item. And a lot of gold. So he is, despite being still a full item completion down on 1XN, very capable of dishing out damage. Frontliners will still be very tanky. It's about whether or not he can get access to the backline. Until he gets that Lord Dominic's going to be a little bit risky. TT.
Here we go. There's a good Glacial Fissure. OMG trying to maybe turn this one around. Beichuan, though, very, very tanky. There is a good Nature's Grasp, but never mind. It's actually a little bit too far behind. 1XN right onto the backside. And that percentage health damage doing so much here. Creme not able to try and keep himself alive, or at least healthy in this fight. No accelerated shock blast to end it, but TT are going to end it, and they're going to send themselves 1-0 up in this series.
Yeah, 1XN's understanding of that team fight was so wonderful. He's waiting for yuyanjia to go in. He's already connected the first W onto Abel, and as soon as Abel flashes the initial engage, he knows he can go in and assassinate him. Game 1 will go over to TT. And OMG starting to sweat a little bit after the last couple of series they've had, a couple of performances, and this one felt like a pretty heavy-handed TT win. We'll see them drop one series down and TT pick up game number 1, but very classic OMG game 1 series loss. We'll see how things pan out as we progress into the series.
Yeah, look, if you're new here,